post-traumatic stress on first responders. I do have a script that I'm going to be reading. So I want to welcome, I am Senator Regina Bertzel. Today we will be conducting the monthly meeting of the Commission to study PTS in first responders. Before we get started, I'll read through a checklist to ensure that the meeting that we are holding is in compliance with the right to know law. As chair of the commission, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, in accordance with the governor's emergency order 12, pursuant to executive order 2020-04 and its extensions, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. In accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that 1, we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possible by video and other electronic means. We are utilizing Zoom for this electronic meeting. All members of the committee and selected legislative staff have the ability to communicate contemporaneously in this meeting through this platform. And the public has access to contemporaneously watch and or listen to the meeting on Zoom, YouTube, and via phone by following the directions and links provided on the General Court's website. 2, we have provided public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting in the Senate calendar. 3, we are providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are any problems with access. If anyone has a problem, please email remotesenate@leg.state.nh.us. Again, that's remotesenate@leg.state.nh.us. Or you can call 603-271-3043. And number 4, in the event the public is unable to access the meeting, it will be adjourned and rescheduled. And 5, please note that all votes taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. And 6, and finally, let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state where they are and if anyone is in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. And I will go ahead and call the roll call. So. Representative Prue.
I am here in my home and my dog Pugsley is with me.
Thank you. Representative Fred Davis. Representative Davis. Okay. Representative Tim Soucy.
I am here at home and by myself.
All right. Rudy Ogden. Alexi Rojas is replacing Rudy. Is that true? Are you there?
Just indicated by chat that she's here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Christian Citarella.
Hello, yes, I'm here. I'm in my home in Stratham alone.
Okay. Jason Henry. Jason Henry.
Yep.
Did I? Okay.
He's not attending, Senator.
Okay, thank you. Robert Buxton.
Good morning. I'm with you this morning in my office alone. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Scott Naismith.
Good morning. I'm here working in Salem, but I'm alone.
Thank you. Jeffrey Stewart.
Good morning, everyone. I am here. I am in my office in Concord, New Hampshire. People will periodically walk through, but they're not listening in on the session.
Okay, thank you. Jared O'Connor.
I am here at home. I'm alone for now. I can't guarantee my daughters won't pop in, but.
All right, thank you, Jared. Russell Conti.
Good morning. I'm at my residence alone.
All right. Lisa Drabick.
Lisa,
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting. I'm here. I'm alone in the room in my home, and I'm going to keep myself on mute unless speaking because I happen to have some roof work being done right now. So there's a lot of pounding. So hopefully that won't interrupt anything. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you. Ken Norton.
Hi, Ken Norton from Nami, New Hampshire. I'm in Pennacook and I am alone.
Thank you. David Goldstein.
Morning, everybody. I'm here in my office at the Franklin Police Department. I am alone at present, but personnel could come in and out during the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Gordon Wilson.
I am here at Nashua Fire Department Station 3 in the office by myself.
Great, thank you. And David Witham.
Yes, I'm here working from my home in Somersworth, and I am alone.
Great. And Senator Bertzel is here, and I currently am alone. I can't guarantee that my husband won't be walking in and out and the dog won't be screaming. So we have taken the roll call and we're only missing 2. So I have to say thank you all for coming in. Let's see. The next order of business is going to be the approval of the minutes. Has any for that the minutes from March 13th? Is it 13th? Yeah. Has everybody had a chance to read them? All right. Any changes? Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Sure, I'll make that motion to accept the minutes.
Okay.
Oh, Jeff has his hand up.
And he's seconding. Jeff Stewart, are you
Perfect.
seconding?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right.
I'm slow on the mute button.
All right, so let's take the roll call for accepting the minutes. Senator Regina, any changes, any concerns about it? Okay, so I'll take the roll call for the minutes. Senator Regina Bertzel says yes. Representative Prue?
Yes.
Representative Davis? He's not there, sorry. Representative Susi?
Yes.
Lexi Rojas? You have to unmute, Lexi.
Her audio
She's
is
saying
not
yes.
working.
Okay.
She says yes.
All right. I'll take a nod. Christian Citarella.
Yes.
Okay. Jason Henry. He's not here. Robert Buxton.
I would like to screw everything up and abstain because I was not present for the meeting.
Okay. Good choice. Okay. Scott Naismith.
Yes.
Jeffrey Stewart.
Yes.
Okay. Jared O'Connor.
I wasn't able to be present for the March meeting, so I'll also abstain.
Okay. Russell Conti.
Yes.
Lisa Drabick.
And as I was not there either. Thank you.
Ken Norton.
Yes.
David Goldstein.
Yes.
Gordon Wilson.
Yes.
And David Witham.
Yes.
Okay, the
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 yes, 12 yeses and 3 abstains. So the minutes have passed. So next is the review of the priorities. I know that that was a request from, I can't remember who had requested to look at the priorities, review the priorities, but did everyone get a copy of the October 18th minutes, which had what we put down as the priorities? I was reviewing them a little bit last night, and I noticed that most everything we have pretty much covered in the short time that we had. The couple of things we didn't go through, I think, was 3A and numbers, the extent to which prior military service may contribute to the rate of PTSD among first responders, and number 7, the degree to which employers who hire first responders are capable of reassigning affected workers to less stressful positions that would allow employees to continue working while receiving mental health treatment. Are there any other areas that you all have thought that we might need to review or maybe put on the next piece of legislation to review?
Senator Birdsell, this is Lisa. With regard to number 8.2, costs of creating a rebuttable presumption. I know that in the minutes from last month, there was some discussion of the various avenues available to employees vis-a-vis workers' comp, et cetera, but I don't believe we've done anything yet related to costs of creating the presumption.
Okay. Cost to employers?
Yes. And possible funding solutions.
How, if someone can remind me, I know we passed the presumption. That was what, last year? Was it last session? So we've only had about a year of experience with it. So that is something that I'm thinking that one of the things that we're going to have to do, and I was speaking about this last night, we have, unfortunately, because of COVID, we've had a much more abbreviated commission study because we've lost about 5-6 months. So some of the things that we're going to have to do are probably, we're going to have to, in order to extend this commission, it ends November 1st. So we're going to have to put in legislation to continue the work that we're doing. And I think that that's probably one of the top priorities that we should put on the next piece of legislation, because I think at that point we should have enough information on how much it's going to cost the employers, and put the other two that I had mentioned forward and make those as things that the commission needs to study as top priorities. Is everyone okay with that? Okay. Are there any other issues that the priorities that people would like us to?
Senator, this is Ken, and I have a couple thoughts. One is to look into educational programs for employers or training programs about how to recognize, maybe it's, supervisors, and then how to assist somebody. And I think that would be important. And then I think another one, given some of the testimony that we've heard, and I had actually made a similar recommendation to the Governor's Commission on Law Enforcement Accountability, is that there's a real lack of providers in the state, mental health providers that are really trained to work specifically with first responders. And we had passed the LEAC Commission yesterday passed a recommendation to encourage UNH or some other institute of higher education in the state to develop a certificate program that's specific to working with first responders and their mental health needs. So that might be something that we want to consider as well.
Great idea. One of the things that I think that we do need to, and again, before we kind of go too deeply into the weeds, one of the things we need to work on, and I was speaking to this earlier, we only have probably one more meeting in September that we're going to be able to accomplish, be able to discuss anything before October 19th, or whatever the third week is, or second week in October, when we need to start looking at the final report. So one of the things that I think we need to look at as well is, I know Nashua, the state police, and Manchester have a really good PTS follow through and programs. My concern is that some of the smaller towns, let's say in Rockingham, you have Atkinson, Hampstead, Plastow, some of them may not have the capability of having something. So I'm thinking that we might want to look at, also looking at having regional areas that some of the smaller towns can combine their resources and start some of the programs that some of the larger areas, so some of the larger cities and towns do have. So what are your thoughts on that?
May I offer a thought?
Yep.
Actually, Senator, we are regionalized, at least in the southern tier. And I know Representative Proulx can address this as well with the team that he directs. The issue is, one of the biggest issues we run into is getting the information out to the smaller communities that we have help available. And I know that the state police team will go out as well and help anybody that asks. So I think there's a little bit of a communications gap there, not on purpose, and certainly not a competitive type of thing, but just some people just don't know.
Okay.
So you might want to look at that as well.
So what you're saying, and Representative Proulx, you can pipe in here too. What you're saying is you actually have set up something regional, but the problem is communicating it down to the different organizations. So that's something, so we should probably look at the communication aspect on how to get that information out.
That would be a recommendation, yes.
Okay.
Because you have the Granite State team that'll go out to anybody that asks. You have the state police that'll go out pretty much to anybody that asks. So the help is out there. We all have the ability to refer if needed. And I think it's better than it was, but still some people don't know who to call.
So Representative Proulx, so it's the Granite State team and the state police also go out as well, right?
Correct.
Is there any other organizations that do that?
The Southern New Hampshire team, which is made up of Manchester, Franklin, Greenland, Bedford, a number of different departments. Anybody calls, that team will go. Essentially, there are 3 recognized teams per se, and then there are a number of departments that have individual initiatives as well.
Chief, can you get those names to Marie for me?
Absolutely.
So that I can, I'll put that in. Some of this information, I think I'm going to try and put in the final report on our recommendations, including communication down to the smaller municipalities.
Senator, if I may, I would just like to chime in, Dave Witham with Primex here.
Yep.
We've talked about this a little bit before anyways, in terms of trying to get that information out and trying to encourage people to have identified resources that they could go to in the event of a member having a traumatic experience, whether it's a singular traumatic event or a series of events. What we've done as part of our what we call PRIME program, which is a series of risk management best practices that if municipalities achieve, they get a discount on their workers' compensation line of coverage. We have retooled that document. We've actually woven in a traumatic stress management component to that, which requires the municipalities to identify in advance teams that they could call, resources that they could call, and also to provide training to its members in terms of the resources that are available out there. So I think it's germane to the conversation that we're at least trying to message that as well.
Okay. Can you forward that information as well to?
I'd be glad to do that, sure.
Okay.
I would say that's working a little bit because I've had a couple of calls from some towns asking if we would be their resource.
Good to hear. Thank you, Mark.
Great. Okay. Any other thoughts on the priorities list?
So Senator, if I could just chime in on the last, maybe this follows through with future thoughts, but currently the CIT training program, the Crisis Intervention Team training, is back on. We taught a class at Dover PD just within the last couple of weeks, and lucky Chief Goldstein and Representative Prue as part of the faculty. And I think the thing is worth mentioning in this messaging for peer services for post-traumatic stress is that is covered in a portion of that training. And I can tell you that it has done a lot to get the word out. And I think everybody's getting more calls because of it. Regardless of what level it's at, or who the first responder works for, whether they're a police officer, a firefighter, dispatch personnel. So I think that's helping. If that means anything, we will continue with it. Because of the last few months with COVID, we missed a couple of classes. We're looking to get an extension, and NAMI has been really in the forefront of this. But I do think that has been that has greatly improved the communication, reference to peer, reference to taking care of ourselves as we look, to train ourselves better in service of others. So just worth a mention.
Okay, great. What is CIT? What is that again?
That's the Crisis Intervention Team Training. It is the Memphis model. It's a program, and it's something that NAMI and the state police partnered with a great in-state faculty. And we got funds for a 3-year grant to train police officers, firefighters, EMT personnel. And we've had a few people on the panel here go through it. They've been part of it. We have a great in-state faculty that people know. Tremendous success. A lot of work left to be done, but a lot of successes so far.
Great. Okay. Maybe that's something we can look into. Who runs that program?
So the program is being coordinated by Sue Ellen Samuel, who is the CIT coordinator from NAMI, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
With the Fire Academy, Director Pendergrass. And she helps with not only facility management, but also in scheduling and setting up class rosters. And then myself and Seth Garr, who was the peer coordinator for state police, are part of the faculty. And we answer questions, help to get the classes set up, and get the people lined up. And it's like I said, real stuff and a real success with the help of extra people.
Great. Okay. And maybe that's something we can look at, delve into a little bit next time around.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? All right. So when I get the minutes, what I'll do is I'll take a look at some of these suggestions, and what I'll do is I'll kind of split them up into something that we need to study further and put it on the next piece of legislation to continue the commission. And then some of this I'm looking at putting on as our recommendations. And there may be some that can be on both, because like the CIT program or the communications, it's already sort of being done, but we can also look at trying to make it better in the next piece of legislation. So What I'll probably do is divide it out that way and then have you guys take a look at it. Any other thoughts? All right, moving on. I know we had talked about the congressional letter. I understand that we have Fred Davis came on board. Fred, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Fred Davis from Nashua, District 31. I've actually been in for a few minutes, quite a while. It just let me in as a regular person like 5 minutes ago. I don't know what happened, but I've been watching what's going on.
Oh, okay. We just want to make sure you were recognized.
Thank you.
So we had talked about back in February, we had a letter that was going to be going to the our federal delegation on should have read it. Okay, accessing the outpatient mental health treatment and whether or not it would be covered under Medicare. So are we still interested in sending this out? Have there been any changes? Okay, Jeffrey is vehemently saying yes. Mark's saying yes. All right, are there any changes that need to be made to it since it's been a few months?
Senator, this is Ken, and I don't think that there's any changes that need to be made to the letter, but there have been some changes in the regs as a result of COVID. I'm not exactly sure whether this has been addressed. I know it was being considered at some point in time, but I think we should send the letter anyway. And
Okay.
I just want to let you know that there have been some changes around approved providers.
Okay, so what I'll do, oh, sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
Just a couple of things. I totally agree with Ken. There've been some changes, but there's also been some discussions about whether or not those changes would be permanent. So I think this letter would support either making those changes permanent or just bringing it to more vision or more awareness level with our federal delegation. And, we were just talking about the shortage of providers. I think, again, here's another window of opportunity to expand out some of those provider availabilities. So strong advocate for this letter.
Okay.
I agree as well.
Dave Witham, did you have any? It looked like you were trying to say something, no?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
Oh. Okay. Any other thoughts? All right. So what I'll do, Marie, I'll make sure that if you don't already have a copy of it, you do actually. I'll make sure that we get that out. I'll come in and sign it, and then we can send it out to the delegation. And I'll make sure that you all get a copy of it once it's signed and ready to go. Okay. All right. All right. What's next? So I tried to summarize as best I could. I took all the minutes. We're reviewing the report notes to date. I took all of the minutes from, I think, September through March, and they were actually really good minutes. So I really just needed to kind of copy and paste. So I did that. And I kind of summarized all of the minutes for the final report. So I've still got this meeting and September that I'll probably summarize. But I'm not going to have you guys review it with us today. I'm going to give you guys if you want, till the September meeting. Let's go through it and pull out any things from there, in addition to what we talked about today, to actually put on our items that need to be addressed. and we break it down, whether it's legislation, because we definitely know we need to put if you all agree, put legislation in to continue the commission. And we can break it down into pieces of legislation that need to be put through, or just recommendations to the governor and to the Senate president and the Speaker of the House. So I'm going to give you guys till September, our September meeting, to review it, see if you want any changes. And then we'll start pulling out, start listing the things that you want to be covered in the next piece of legislation to continue the commission. 2, the legislation that you think needs to be put through, and then we can kind of discuss that and the highlights of what this last 2-year commission. Does that work for everyone? I like this. Nodding heads. Alan?
He's muted.
Alan Raff?
Yes, Senator.
Do we still have, are we going to be able to meet in person in September?
Not that I know, but most of the commissions that are scheduling for September, October, November are still doing it through Zoom with me.
Okay. So are we still on Marie, what is our normal date? Is it the second Friday of the month, or is it?
Usually it's the second Friday.
Okay.
But it's definitely on a Friday.
Well, what do you also want to do the second Friday if we can get the Zoom?
I can check and see. Let me see what we have available here.
That's September 11th.
I don't know where everybody actually is when the station's
Yeah.
operate. Do you know any of the guys that responded over to Pine Brook for that medical at 7:30 this morning?
Actually, yeah.
I think Joe.
So it looks like we do have the 11th open.
Is everybody good with September 11th? Okay. Yeah, Christian, I like that.
I'm working at the firehouse, but I'll try and sign on from there unless we get a call.
Okay. All right, so why don't
It'd be
we,
a very symbolic day for us to be meeting to talk about PTSD and first responders.
that's what I was
Yes.
thinking.
Yes, it will.
So,
Senator, would you want that at the same time?
yes,
Okay.
starting at 10. So.
Hey, Gordy, mute, will you?
Thought I was.
No, you aren't.
Sorry.
You guys are
Busy place.
tough crowd. All right, any other thoughts? No? All right, well, I would anticipate next month that we are just going to be we're going to pretty much be discussing the final report and the piece of the legislation. So it might be a little bit more of a longer meeting. So just I'll try and be really prepared with some of the listings. I'll go through everything that I've got, and I'll try and get it on paper and sent out to you well in advance. And then if you want to make any changes, we can talk about it. How's that? Okay. All right. If you have nothing else, then do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
I
you
would
know what we
second that.
didn't do? I forgot, I'm sorry. We didn't do the pledge, but we will do it on September 11th.
Yeah.
So, okay, motion to adjourn, second.
I would second that.
Okay, Robert Buxton seconded it, and I need to take roll call.
Down to country book for 11, and I'll figure out what.
Okay. Senator Birdsall says yes. Representative Prue.
Yes, please.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Susie.
Yes.
Lexi. Okay. She says yes. She nods her head yes. Christian.
Yes.
Okay. Jason Henry's not here. Robert Buxton.
Yes.
Okay. Scott Naismith.
Yes.
Jeffrey Stewart.
Yes, please.
Jared O'Connor.
Yes.
Russell Conti.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
David Goldstein, Chief Goldstein. Okay. Gordon Wilson.
Yes.
Okay. And David Witham.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, everybody. It was a great meeting. Sorry we have to meet under these circumstances, and hopefully soon we'll be able to meet in person. I'll keep fighting for that. But we'll see you on September 11th, and it'll be a good day to meet.
Hey, one last thing. I don't know if everybody knows, but I'm not running this year, so
What?
yeah, I know I'm moving. I'm moving from here to Epping, so I thought that would be a really bad move to run and get elected and say in a month, yeah, I'm leaving. You have to have a special election, so
You
I'll be
could
back
run
in 2
that
years.
now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, you can, knowing that you, oh, never mind, you made up your mind, but okay.
I know. I'll tell you what, that was one of the toughest decisions not to run.
You're moving into a good town.
I went back and forth for about 3 months before I finally made the decision. So,
Wow. Okay.
but I hope to get out there in the 2 years that I'm done, meet everybody and get ready to run for the next time around. So,
All right. Well, hopefully see you in 2 years.
all right.
All right. Listen.
See you in September anyway.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good month
day.
and be safe.